Welcome to Airborne at Oshkosh for Wednesday, July 31st. I'm Ashley Hale. Coming up today on Airborne, EAA's membership seems satisfied with the organization's direction. Aviat has converted a Husky to burn 2 types of fuel. And the third part of our interview with EAA Chairman Jack Pelton. Those stories and more from AirVenture at Whitman Regional Airport. EAA held its annual membership meeting Wednesday morning at Theater in the Woods, a change that EAA Chairman Jack Pelton said he hoped would give more members an opportunity to attend.
Any flight instructor will tell you is one of the most important lessons you can learn in basic training is to, well, execute the 180-degree turn when you see trouble ahead. EAA has learned that lesson well. In direct contrast to last year's business meeting, which was held on Sunday and toward the end of the week when generally in the past few people had a chance to attend, EAA got the shock of its life. It had lost faith with its membership and especially with its volunteer corps. The mission seemed to have gone astray. With a change in leadership that has occurred in the last 9 months, with Jack Pelton taking the place of everything that had been done prior to that by Rod Hightower and before him Tom Poberesny, there's no question that EAA is a different organization on a different path and with a different future. We've spent a couple hours here listening to people who in the past had serious problems with the organization praise the direction, praise the renewed faith that they have in the organization and the people involved, and more important than anything else, their willingness to volunteer, be a part, stay involved, and support the leadership of Jack Pelton, who has told everybody in no uncertain terms, I'm not going anywhere. For the time being, it looks like EAA is in very good hands. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell.
Thanks, Jim. More when we come back from AirVenture 2013.
The twin-engine Oracle CRN 2120 offers a robust feature list, including a fully redundant dual-screen display not offered with other engine monitoring systems. STC primary, the Oracle will soon be available in fixed-wing turbine and rotorcraft versions. Waco Classic Aircraft now offers the Great Lakes 2T1A2. Inspired by the classic YMF 5D, it's smaller but with 180 horsepower, simpler avionics, and fully aerobatic. Waco lets you fly simply for the fun of it. www.wacoaircraft.com. 295 and counting. That's the number of lives saved so far by the revolutionary BRS airframe parachute. See and read why BRS can keep you safe at www.brsparachutes.com.
Welcome back. Lycoming Engine's press conference Wednesday morning was heavy on preparations for future industry changes. Michael Kraft said the company is continuing development of a 6-cylinder FADEC engine as part of their IE2 program based on the 0520 platform. The engine features full authority engine controls from an automotive-type engine management system, with the addition of detonation prevention injection, similar to high-performance military aircraft of World War II. Kraft said the company's primary focus is on pending regulations and particularly fuel developments within the aviation industry. Speaking of a focus on fuel, there's an airplane here at Oshkosh this week that's the first of its kind, a dual-fuel piston. Tom Patton has that story.
Aviat, along with Minnesota-based Aviation Foundation of America, unveiled the first dual-fuel piston-powered airplane that can burn both compressed natural gas, or CNG, and regular aviation fuel today at AirVenture. The Aviat Husky CNG can be powered by CNG or 100 low-lead aviation gasoline with the flip of a switch. It's a standard Aviat Husky A1C that has been fitted with a CNG fuel tank in addition to its standard aviation gasoline tanks with a capacity of 50 gallons. The aircraft is powered by a 200 horsepower 4-cylinder Lycoming engine with a cruise speed of 143 miles per hour. The flight endurance at 65% power setting is approximately 7 hours. Why burn CNG? Greg Herrick, president of Aviation Foundation of America, says it burns cleaner, has much lower emissions, and is up to 80% less expensive than 100 low-lead fuel. The CNG-powered Husky is on display outside the Innovations Pavilion throughout AirVenture 2013 this week. For Aero-TV at AirVenture 2013 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, I'm Tom Patton.
Kestrel Aircraft announced at AirVenture today that the Garmin G3000 avionics suite has been chosen as the avionics launch platform for the Kestrel aircraft currently in development. The Garmin G3000 is the first touchscreen-controlled integrated flight deck for light turbine aircraft. It is designed specifically for Part 23 turbine aircraft. The G3000 is patterned after the G1000, offering the pilot a more intuitive way of interacting with the avionics. Pilot interface with the system is primarily through two touchscreen controllers. Just touch what you want to control. Coming up, Jetman Eve Rossi and more from Jack Pelton. You're watching Airborne at AirVenture 2013.
The Evolution Flight Display System from Aspen Avionics delivers unique reliability and safety features to GA pilots and is truly the most flexible and affordable EFIS available. Aspen Avionics, a new way to look at avionics.
Concorde Platinum Series batteries are available for all aircraft and offer extra cranking power, resulting in less draw on the battery per cycle for longer life. Visit booth 2053 at Oshkosh. Concorde, for the heart of your aircraft.
Cub Crafters is unique in that we can design, prototype, and certify and put into production an aircraft. There aren't very many companies in the world that can make that claim.
FreeFlight, the Texas-based company that pioneered the first certified WAAS GPS receiver, designs and manufactures high-performance avionics, delivering substantial benefits from the next-gen airspace transformation. Learn more at www.freeflightsystems.com.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Welcome back to Airborne at Oshkosh. I'm Ashley Hale. The Jetman Eve Rossi made his first public debut at Oshkosh during the Tuesday Air Show. After the Air Show, he answered questions from reporters on what it's like to fly the Breitling-sponsored wing.
First time in public in the USA, between the clouds. I hope you had as much fun as I had, because it's completely unreal to fly like that between the clouds. It was really a mix between, hey, I have to do something here and not do it wrong because it's the first time I was under pressure, and wow, it's fun because the clouds were exactly at the right position for me. Unfortunately, not for the public, but for me, I could go up the clouds, down again, play between the holes. So normally you are a bird to do that, and I was able to do that today. So yeah, I have goosebumps just telling that.
Rumor has it that you've had to register yourself as an aircraft and receive an N number. Any truth to that rumor?
Yes, I confirm that rumor. I am an aircraft, experimental aircraft, November 15 Yankee Romeo. That's reality. I am not allowed to fly supersonic, but I am allowed not to wear seatbelt. And I have a special authorization for not having 30 minutes reserve fuel. To fly, you need a license. No, you need wings.
PS Engineering showed off its new Part 200 audio panel with integrated comm radio, which was developed in conjunction with Trig Avionics. The panel is the first such device to be available, according to PS Engineering founder Mark Scheuer. It is FAA certified and includes PS Engineering's IntelliVox intercom, a Trig transceiver, and Bluetooth connectivity. The Part 200 can be configured as a standalone audio panel intercom radio, or can be connected to a second radio, typically with navigation capabilities. It's no secret that there has been some tension between the EAA and the FAA leading up to this year's AirVenture. EAA Chair Jack Pelton discussed those issues in his in-depth interview with ANN's Jim Campbell.
There has been an awful lot said, and we dug up a couple of pieces of info here and there and looked at documents, and now some of this stuff is becoming a bit more public. You folks really got clobbered by the FAA. There was very little warning, pretty stentorian terms, very aggressive action on their part, and you basically had to take what you could get out of the circumstances to survive. Where does this fight stand right now? Where do we go from here? And I have to congratulate EAA. One thing I noticed in the legal defense, it's not all about EAA. It's about the principle of the matter above and beyond.
It is, and we had an opportunity to have a pretty long discussion when this first unfolded, and you did a nice piece really outlining all the facts, but I can't help but go back and talk again about the facts to put in perspective the awful position we were put in. I mean, we were, inside of 90 days, and you're sitting in Washington, D.C., with myself requesting a meeting from the FAA administrator and the COO, saying, we're hearing there's going to be some sort of fees or a contract levied on us. What's going on and where is it? And essentially they're saying, yes, there will be. We'll get it to you as soon as we can, hopefully by the end of the week. And you really have two choices. And the two choices are, you can either pass or you can't have an event. And the reason it got down to those two choices is that the way the structure is here with the tower, with the notamed and waivered airspace, they own the keys to us being able to operate at this facility in the fashion that we do. We're not at an uncontrolled airport. 1 week a year, while this is a privatized tower, in the contract, FAA operates the tower during AirVenture. So they're saying, write me a check or I don't send controllers. It's as simple as that. And you talk about being put into a position with your back against the wall and trying to look at what weapons do I have to fight this. One of them is write a check, which is the worst weapon you can ever, that's extortion. The other is us looking at, can we get privatized controllers? Is there some other way of operating this event without being dependent on the FAA controllers being here and paying those expenses? We did some quick, let's see if we can turn up an alternative, and the answer from everybody came back, sorry, you're inside getting close to 60 days or less. We just can't put anything together. So now we were in a position to have to negotiate a contract, of which we did negotiate it down a little bit. We did negotiate only paying half of it up front. And then we went after getting our members to support us in getting the House and the Senate to be able to start rallying, of which we had over 25,000 letters that were sent of support of EA in saying what the FAA was doing was wrong. The next arrow in our quiver was to take legal action. And we did file a petition, and we said we're going to take the high road on filing the petition and not get into specific name calling and make it personal. We really wanted to challenge, was the action constitutional? And I think as you look through it, we think it's really on the mark. We think we've put them in a position where there's some tough answers that are going to have to be had. And we are still seeing, though, action from a lot of the legislators are still active in demanding from the FAA, what are you doing? And you really can't be doing this. So we've got the two fronts still very, very active. I think in your question of where are you on this, the FAA in the month of August will have to respond to the circuit court to our petition. And so we'll be waiting to hear what is their response. And that will, as we're both familiar with the legal system, it could be a long, long road. We understand that, but it will be interesting to see what exactly the tack they take in responding.
We'll have more from that conversation about the FAA and its effect on AirVenture in tomorrow's edition of Airborne. You're watching Airborne. More in a moment.
Did you know to get a full ADS-B in service in the U.S., first you need a compliant ADS-B out? Trig Avionics are the ADS-B experts, offering the smartest and best value ADS-B out money can buy. Trig, smart, affordable, and future-proof.
Eclipse can get you anywhere in almost any kind of condition.
This plane is fun.
It's a life changer.
Every flight is a great experience.
It's a remarkable airplane.
Just need to fly it. That's the only way I can really explain how great it is and how much fun it is.
This Aerocast is sponsored by ForeFlight, makers of intelligent iPhone and iPad apps for pilots. Visit foreflight.com to see and hear more about ForeFlight Mobile. With best-in-class design, touch planning, brilliant pre-flight and in-flight weather displays, and backed by fanatical pilot support, ForeFlight Mobile is aviation's most popular app.
Bright, light, and affordable. Sandia Aerospace presents the STX-165 Mode AC Transponder. Check it out at www.sandia.aero. Pipistrel's innovative new Alpha trainer has been designed from the ground up for flying school operations. Powered by a Rotax 80 horsepower engine, the Alpha burns only 2.5 U.S. gallons of fuel per hour at 100 to 108 knots, giving you the opportunity to make flight training cost-effective once again. Be sure to check out the Pipistrel Alpha when you're ready to select your next trainer. Get more info at pipistrel-usa.com.
Welcome back to Airborne at Oshkosh. We'll wrap up today's episode with just a few of the sights we've captured from around the grounds at Whitman Regional Airport. Well, it's an ever-changing view, and you'll see more of it later in the week. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Airborne for Wednesday, July 31st. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching. And to stay up to date on all things Oshkosh, visit www.aero-news.net. And remember to watch more episodes of Airborne every day this week from AirVenture 2013.